Hi friends, how's it going? Welcome back. If you're new, thank you for joining me. My name is Annie Faye. Anyone that does know me knows that I love a good soft glam moment. I'm obsessed with just like neutrals and that kind of makeup, but I have been wanting to incorporate a little bit more color into my makeup. So today we're gonna do a pink soft glam makeup look. I know, crazy, right? But I feel like that's a good way to ease into the colorful makeup looks. I'm going to be using this palette. I hate showing it because there's just so many fingerprints on it. But this is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2 palette. It's like the pink one. Very rosy shades and one of them's broken. So it's just falling out into my palm. I have been absolutely loving this lately. This is the Laneige Glowy Makeup Serum. It just creates such a nice base for the rest of your makeup. And I have noticed that my makeup lasts so much longer. It will just look, oh my god, my skin feels so soft right now. It just really helps my makeup look as good as possible for as long as possible. Also, I just filmed a skincare video, so I've already done my prep. I'm just wearing the Fenty Skin Hydra Visor and the Dr. Jart Ceramide and Eye Cream under my eyes. And how glowy does my skin look? I think it looks beautiful. I feel like it's so rare for me to be like happy with how my skin's looking, so today's a good day for me. Even though the Laneige serum is a primer, I'm still gonna go in with another primer. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I just want to really achieve that now. Okay, the siren's outside, interrupting my filming. I really want to achieve that beautiful poreless airbrushed look, so I'm just going to use a little bit of the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I'm going to apply that anywhere that I have pores or fine lines or anything I need smoothed out. For me, that's mainly my cheeks, my nose, and my smile lines, but I am just placing any excess product on my forehead and my chin, and I just like to pat that in. For foundation, I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. This is so good. I don't know why I don't reach for it more often. I'm just applying a little bit of that on a mixing palette. It is a medium coverage and I love full coverage. So before I go in with the foundation, I'm just going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is in the shade 3 Light Medium. And this is just going to add a really nice glow to my skin, but also a little bit extra coverage. As you can see, I have some pretty bad blemishes on my cheeks. And I'm just blending that out with a foundation brush. This is the BK Beauty 101 brush, and it is my new favorite foundation brush. It's so good. I'm just gonna warm up the foundation a little bit with my finger. I just like the way that it applies a little bit better when I do this. And then whatever I have on my finger, I'm just gonna like pat in to my skin. I'm just gonna let that chill for a little bit because it's gonna get tackier and give me more full coverage. In the meantime, I'm just gonna pick up some of this foundation on that same foundation brush, and I'll just like to tap off the excess a little bit like that, just so I'm not going in with too much foundation at once, and I can build it up without it looking too cakey. Always bring your product down your neck and onto your ears. Okay, so I have my first layer blended in. As you can see, I still have a few blemishes, so I'm gonna let that like dry down before going in with my second layer. For the foundation around my nose, I'm actually just gonna pick some up on this sponge. This is from Quo, by the way. It's like their microfiber sponge, and I'm just going to use that to apply foundation to my nose. I just feel like I like a sponge better because it gets into all the little crevices that a brush can't really get into. I have a really little amount of foundation left, but I'm just going to pick that up with this brush and again just pat it over anywhere I want a little bit more coverage. For a medium coverage foundation, it's incredible how much this foundation actually covers. Okay, foundation is done, and I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. Usually I'll put on like concealer and then move on to contour and blush, but today I'm going to do contour first and then blush and then concealer. With the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, I'm just going to start sculpting out my cheekbones, forehead. For the nose contour, I'm just picking up some product on a Morphe E18, and I'm just applying that in the usual spots. I just went over that again because it wasn't dark enough, and now whatever's left over, I'm just going to kind of use to contour my temples. You know what? I'm also going to use it for my lips. A nice little light lip contour. I see a lot of people complaining about this product, and I feel like maybe you're not using it right. I will agree that there is not enough product in here, but I've had this for months and I still have a lot of product. You really don't need too much. I know this looks like a lot, but it's really just like not not that much at all. And you cannot use a sponge to blend this out. Absolutely do not do that. It's just gonna pick up all the product. You're gonna wanna use a brush. So I'm just using the Morphe M523 here, and I'm patting it into my skin. I am not dragging it, I'm not rubbing it. That's just going to look really patchy and completely destroy all the hard work I put into like getting a nice even coverage with my foundation. The only time I'll ever use a beauty blender is just to quickly like go over it after I've already used a brush. And for the nose contour, I'm just gonna blend that out with this brush here. This is a BK Beauty 201 brush. Just using that same brush to blend out the lips. I feel like my cheekbone contour is a little bit darker than I want it to be, so I'm just going to go over it with my foundation brush. For blush slash highlighter, I'm going to be mixing these two. These are the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light ones. I'm going in with Pillow Talk first and then following with Pinkgasm just because Pillow Talk is lighter. And I'm focusing the product on my cheekbones. We don't want it to go any lower. Also just doing one little dot on my nose. Just using a brush to blend that out. This is a BK Beauty 107 brush. And as you can see, I'm still patting the product into the skin and I'm bringing it up to my temples. Time for concealer. This is the Hourglass Airbrush Vanish Concealer in the shade Sepia. I'm just applying that lower than I usually do. I usually apply this right under my eyes, but now I'm giving myself a little bit of space. That way there's very little product in the areas that crease the most. And I'm just applying that where I want my face to be brighter and a little bit lifted. Also my chin, a little bit on my forehead, and a tiny, tiny bit on my nose. Before I go in with powders, I always like to spray my liquids and creams with a setting spray. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Before blending this out, I'm just gonna let my concealer sit for a little bit. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes, so I'm just gonna start blending that out with that same Quo sponge. As I'm blending that out, I'm also applying any excess product to any places that I want to brighten, but not too much. I sometimes have a weird shadow right by the corner of my lips, so that's where I'm applying it today. Time for powder. This pink soft glam look would not be complete without a pink brightening powder. This is the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder in the shade Voile Rose. Excuse me for butchering that. I just like to pick that up on a powder puff. I get these on Amazon. And as we've been doing with everything, just really push the product into the skin. And I pretty much apply this anywhere I've applied my concealer. I'm also just picking up a little bit of that powder on a BK Beauty 105 brush, and I'm using that to set the rest of my face. I really just like to set my whole face with powder before going in with any other powder products. I feel like that just helps it look less patchy. I like to set all of my creams and liquids with a powder, so to set the contour, I'm just going in with the Benefit Hoola Caramel Bronzer, and I'm just picking that up with a BK Beauty 102 brush, and applying a little bit wherever I contoured. These brushes are honestly so incredible. I don't know how I'm ever going to use anything else. They're just so soft, they're so luxurious, and they do such a good job of like blending out the product. I'm absolutely obsessed. For blush, we're going in with the Persona Cosmetics Super Blush in the shade Bubble. How beautiful is this vibrant pink? Oh my god. And I'm just using this small brush to apply that. I honestly have no idea where this is from or what it's called, but it's just a small, dense brush. And I'm just patting that over my cheekbones and bringing it up into my temples. I'm going to use something a little bit different to go over my nose contour just because I feel like the Hoola bronzer is a little bit too warm. This is the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion Bronzer. It's a really nice cool shade and I really prefer that when I'm contouring my nose. And again, I'm just going in with the BK Beauty 201 brush. Now that powder is done for now, I'm going to go in with the setting spray again. Multiple layers of setting spray is really the key to having your makeup last all day, all night, as long as you need it to. We're almost done skin. I'm just going to highlight my nose a little bit as well. This is MAC's Whisper of Guilt highlighter, and again, a random brush, but it just looks like this. And I'm just picking up that highlighter and placing a dot on the tip of my nose and then going up the bridge and just using my finger to blend that in. Time for brows. We're just going to start by brushing them out. And I'm just going to fill in my brows the way I always do using the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen in Ash Brown. I start by extending the tail of my brow and then kind of drawing it up a little bit higher than it naturally would be. And then I draw a bunch of brush strokes to kind of mimic the look of hairs. Again, doing brush strokes at the front of the brow to mimic actual brow hairs. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this brow up to speed and I'll be right back. Okay, brows are looking somewhat symmetrical. Time to gel them in place. If only I could open this. Okay, there we go. This is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, and you guys, this is amazing. I don't know why I haven't tried this sooner. It is so good. Okay, brows are done. Let's move on to eyes. The first step is priming. I'm just taking a little bit on my finger and just patting that onto my eyelid. This is the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 2. My nails are preventing me from being able to blend that out any better, so we're just gonna finish that off with a brush. Just using a Morphe E22 to blend that in. I'm gonna start off by picking up the shade Heartache on a Morphe M441, and I'm just working that into my crease. Do you see how pigmented that is, but also how easily it is blending out? As always, I'm just dragging out the product and kind of lifting it up to my temples to lift my face. Now I'm picking up the shade Passion on a Morphe M506. This brush is more narrow, so it really helps me control where I'm placing the product, and I'm just using that to define my crease. Lightly blending that with the Morphe M441. Now with that same brush, I'm going to define the outer V and also kind of map out where I want that wing to be. Again, blending with the Morphe M441. Now I'm going in with the shade Amour, and I'm going to further define where I want that wing. I start by creating a line where my waterline is to where the tail of my brow ends, and then I start smudging that inward. Blending is key with looks like this, so I'm going back in with the Morphe M506. I don't have any more product on it, I'm just kind of buffing out the shadow I just put down. I'm just gonna do what I did on this eye here, and I'll be right back. Okay, both eyes are looking really good, so let's move on. I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and some micellar water. Literally just sprayed everywhere. Anyway, I'm gonna take that and kind of like carve out my lid. Okay, I'm not happy with that, so we're just gonna use the base. Putting a little bit on the back of my hand, really just a tiny amount. Again, no idea where this brush is from, but it just looks like this, and I'm just picking up that base. And now we're going to carve out the crease. You don't want to use a lot of product because you don't want to have to blend out too much either. Now I'm just going to use a clean brush to blend that out. On that same brush, which is a BK Beauty 203 brush, I'm picking up the shade Unfaithful. This is the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm patting that over the P. Louise base. That is such a beautiful shade. Okay, I am absolutely loving how this look is turning out. Towards the end here, I'm just kind of patting in everything and trying to like blend it together with the wing. With the darkest shadow, which is the shade Amour, I'm just going to take a BK Beauty 208 brush and start drawing on a shadow wing. I'm keeping this very close to my lash line, and I really don't want it to be too thick. Using a Morphe M213 to blend that out. Now I'm going to take this powder and a concealer brush. This is a Morphe M432, and I'm just cleaning up the edge of the shadow liner. Picking up the shade Passion on a Morphe M213, I'm just running that along my lower lash line. I usually don't like to apply shadow on my lower lash line, but I feel like this color really makes the green in my eyes pop. Just to make my lash application a little bit easier, I'm going to start off with a line of glue. This is the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive, and I just apply that as close to my lash line as possible. This is my favorite lash glue. You can get it for like $4 at Walmart or Amazon. While that's drying, we're going to do a layer of mascara. This is the Max Stack Mascara. Lashes are coated. Now, if you follow me, you know that I love stacking these Kiss Wispies, but I did have a couple people tell me that they cannot find these anywhere. So I'm going to show you another beautiful lash that is very inexpensive that you can also stack to achieve similar results. These are the Ardell Wispies. What I like about these is that they're not a cat eye, they're actually like a doll shape, so the inner corner and the outer corner are both the same length. What you can do is you can cut it in half and then put one half on one eye and the other half on the other eye, and you basically get twice the amount of lashes. Or if you want a more dramatic, fluffier look, you can cut them in half and then stack them on top of each other. So that's what I'm going to be doing because I'm dramatic. If anyone knows me, that's what they'd say. She's a dramatic gal. So I'm just gonna cut them in half, stack them, and show you exactly how to do that. Here's what they look like. I'm just going to peel them off with some tweezers. These have 8 of the thicker knots, so I'm just gonna count 4 from here and then cut it in half. I'm just gonna do the exact same thing to this other lash. And now I'm just gonna match up the front half of this one lash with the back half of the other lash and vice versa. So I have the front half here. I'm just going to apply a layer of glue on the underside. Now taking the outer half of the opposite eye, I'm going to stick that right under there. It's a lot easier if you wait for the glue to get a little tacky first. I didn't for whatever reason, but yeah. So we're just gonna let this dry and I'm gonna do the other one properly. Now that my little customized lashes are done, I can apply the lash glue and put them on. Of course, we will be waiting for this to dry down a little bit. As to not waste time, because I see my battery dying, I'm going to do lip liner while that gets a little tacky. This is the Refi Beauty lip liner in Rosewood. It is so gorgeous. This has been my go-to lip liner for the past week, and I've been getting so many compliments. I'm also going to use that to fill in my lip a little bit. Okay, lip liner's done. I don't know if I'm obsessed with the lip shape I've created, but it'll do. The lashes are ready to be applied though, so let's do that. You guys saw me put down that first layer of glue, so look how easy these are gonna apply now that I've done that. Just pressing it in as close to the lash line as I can. There you have it. And now I'm just gonna clamp with my natural lashes. So easy, and these look really good too. So if you can't find the Kiss Wispies, look for the Ardell Wispies. Oh my god, I almost forgot. It is not an Annie Faye makeup look without an inner corner wing. I actually ran out of my brown eyeliner, so I'm just using the ABH brow pen in the shade medium brown. This is such a subtle thing, but I feel like it really makes a difference. Okay, that's better. Let's finish the lip. So I've actually been on a hunt to find a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Kim KW lipstick. I haven't found one just yet, but I did find this beautiful Maybelline shade. This is called 92 Nude Lust. Look at that. How pretty is that? I've been wearing this all week. I'm obsessed with it. This is what it looks like on. I'm just gonna blend. I absolutely love this lip combo. I don't know if I want to do a gloss or not. I feel like because it's a soft glam look, I should keep it kind of like matte, even though it's a satin lipstick. What do you guys think? Okay, I've decided we're not doing a lip gloss today. We are just going to do one last layer of setting spray. And this is the finished look. Oh my god, this might be one of my favorite looks ever. I think I look great. I hope you guys love this look just as much as I do. I hope you enjoyed the video as well. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. If you like this vibe, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.